Oh, look at this drive by Ayton. Dropping the sledgehammer. Look at this drive by Ayton. Dropping the sledgehammer. Yes!
Yo, it's your boy Dctree, and this is Dctree-Nation, the channel on YouTube that covers hoops and heroes. And today we're talking hoops. We talking about San Antonio Spurs, y'all. Future-wise, okay? I don't make enough of these videos, but with the recent losses and just the constant up and down this season, I got to thinking like, hey, what's next for the Spurs? Maybe we need to take some risks. Maybe we need to roll the dice a little bit. And one of the players I feel like we may want to consider rolling the dice on is DeAndre Ayton. DeAndre Ayton has been playing for the Phoenix Suns, and he went to the finals last year. He's infamously, popular for not getting a max contract last season. The Suns did pass on him for doing that, although he's been averaging, 17 points, 11 rebounds, 6'11", 7'6" wingspan and whatnot. They still decide not to give him the max, and I think maybe the Spurs need to roll the dice and give this player the max. Yes, I said it. Give him the max, man. We might have to take some chances, y'all. But before I jump too deep into it, if you like my content, please sub to the channel, hit that like button, and don't forget to hit that bell for more videos. Thank you so much for the continued support. Okay, first off, I want to say is that I'm not disappointed in the San Antonio Spurs and the young guys that are playing hard given the circumstances, man. The circumstances have been crazy this year with COVID and just scheduling and trying to find out who can do what consistently, etc. These players are trying to find themselves. They're fighting for contracts, they're fighting for respect, they're fighting to be recognized, as a team individually. So there's a lot going on in the San Antonio Spurs. So I just want to say I'm proud of these guys, and they're doing what they can. This isn't a video to bash them or complain about them, but they're doing what they can. So, it got me to thinking like, hey, what are we going to do next? Who are we going to add to this team? We have a few players, Murray, Keldon Johnson, Primo, that could spark the interest of a potential star for this team. And one of the guys is Ayton. Ayton playing for the Suns, like I said before, with the 17 points, the 11 rebounds. The Suns don't really want to give him the max, and I see why, because his range isn't where you would like it to be for a franchise player or for a player that you give the max to. But we may have to take a chance on something. You get what I'm saying? It's true that the NBA is moving towards the perimeter. It's true that the NBA is moving their big men out there. But who's to say, hey, we can't find the right guy to build a hell of a post game under Greg Popovich, to build a hell of a post game behind Chip England? He has the mid-range touch. He has the intangibles. He loves to play defense. Why not take a risk on a guy like this, to spark San Antonio? His psyche or his confidence in the Suns organization has been shaken publicly, obviously, because they like him, but they just don't love him. So if the Spurs show some love, in the form of dollars, we might have a chance to pull this guy away, because we have to take some chances, man. Trying to build through the draft is good. We got the pieces. Keldon Johnson, I love that piece. Murray obviously is working out. Lonnie Walker, the jury is still out on him on whether we're going to re-sign him. But for the right price, we better keep him. And we have Primo in the wings, but we need that kind of centerpiece. That centerpiece, that big man that, clogs up the paint, that blocks shots, that loves to play defense, that makes people think twice about coming into the paint. Someone we can throw the basketball into for an easy bucket. We need that type of player, and he's playing pretty darn good. And a lot of people may say it's because of Chris Paul, and don't get me wrong, I understand he's one of the best point guards ever, and you have to look at that. But I honestly think this guy is talented, and he can help us. And trust me, I get what you're thinking, and you might be right about this. Why spend so much money, so much time, so much effort in getting a player from Phoenix? And I'll talk a little bit about later about the logistics of it and the contract situation. But why spend so much time in the offseason trying to persuade a player to come to the Spurs that can't hit the three? The Spurs are traditionally struggling from the three-point line in more ways than one. Not necessarily with percentage. They have been improving on their percentage, but maybe their attempts are lower than most teams in the NBA. And he can't really shoot that well. I mean, he does pick and pop every once in a while. He does necessarily, hit elbow jumpers and those type of things, but he doesn't have the consistency with his jump shot. He's mainly a finisher, an offensive rebounder, put back type of player, and that's a tough sell for a max contract in today's league. You got to be able to hit the long range shot. You got to be able to hit the three occasionally, and that's just something he's not good at. But I will counter that with a point. If you have a post player or a dominant player in the middle, that's going to open up threes for every other guard on our team, and we have plenty of guards, man. We have plenty of guards, and to be honest with you, something has to give. You're probably going to have to give one of these guys up, man. But as of right now, you definitely got to keep Murray. Definitely got to keep Vassell. Definitely got to keep Primo. And you got to figure out what we're going to do with Lonnie Walker. Derek White, I feel like still has a role on this team. But with his salary, I don't know how that's going to work, 3-4 years from now, So we really have to kind of start thinking that far ahead. I think Murray has kind of established himself as a Spurs point guard, unless they're trying to rebuild in that regard, which I wouldn't do at all, because it's not like we have a Jay Morant or a quick player that's just is going to come into the league and just dominate the point guard position for us. So when you think about things like that, Ayton works. He works significantly because he opens up the lane for other players to operate. He opens up the three-point line for other people to have just a little more time to shoot their shot. Keldon Johnson has shown, the ability to hit the three. Murray's three is getting better. Derek White has always been a solid three-point shooter, and he's been pretty bad this year. The first, maybe 20 games of this year, 28%. But he's slowly improving before he had to go out because of COVID. So, I think this is a mighty pickup for the Spurs. The issue with Ayton, though, is his contract situation. Technically, he's going to be a restricted free agent in the summer. And I'm telling you, the restricted free agency model doesn't usually work well for the Spurs. Because usually to pry a player away from a team, especially like the Suns that are near contention or whatnot, it takes a lot of energy, a lot of time, and then a lot of times you have to almost ignore other free agents and put your focus on this free agent who technically isn't free. All right. So the Suns have the ability to match. So if you do offer him the max, they may get nervous and offer him more than the max, because it's the home team, he can sign for more with them. So, Ayton has made it clear that he wants to get paid. He's made it clear that he feels like he's worth the max. He's made it clear that he wants respect in the form of dollars. So if they, get nervous and they max if they match the deal or, offer him more, and I guess there's a small window for them to offer him more, and they don't do that, they can just match the deal. They kind of come out winning, because they can pay him more than any other team. So if the Spurs, max him out and give that offer, they can match and still kind of win in a sense. So I will put this lower on our list of optimism. But I love this guy's game. I love his attitude. I love his energy on the floor, his ability to finish, his ability to intimidate, his ability to defend, and I just think he'd be a great Spur. He's not hella flashy. He has some great dunks. Obviously, the game winner in the playoffs last year was huge, at the alley-oop, at the basket. But he is a stereotypical Spurs player, in my opinion, man. Doing the essential things, doing the garbage things, but also having those flashes of stardom in his game. All right, guys, that's it for this one. Just a speculation video, man. Maybe a fantasy video, depending on your point of view on this situation. But hey, I love my Spurs, but we got to start looking around and seeing who we want, and really having these discussions. I'm sure the San Antonio Spurs organization is having these discussions because I love our young guys, but we don't really have it this year fully, So, hopefully we can get a good pick. Hopefully we can get some free agents. And, if it's not Ayton, maybe they're Ayton-ish, if that makes sense. Maybe they're Ayton-ish, if you know what I'm saying. All right, guys, I will catch you in the comments. Peace.